Hello, everybody. So this is something new today. We are here on a Friday afternoon, and I normally don't do lives at this time, but I was too eager to do this. My friend Carolina, she recently went to the Pinterest conference, the first ever one for bloggers and creators like me and you. So she volunteered last night. We started chatting, and she said that she wants to share everything she learned. So I see she's on, and I'm going to add her, and she is going to come and share with us at the conference. So hopefully this works. I'm adding her now so that you guys can hear all the amazing tips, and me too, like kind of what's new and what's going on with Pinterest. And hi, Brooke. Hi, Jacqueline. Thank you guys for signing on. I know it's a Friday afternoon. This is going to be awesome. It is connecting. It's adding. And here's Carolina.
Carolina.
Carolina, sorry. Carolina. It's very cool. How are you?
Good. We just got back
Good.
from Costco, so. Mom life, right?
Oh my gosh, so you must be like kind of exhausted.
It's fine. It's my life every day.
All right, so Carolina blogs over at mamasinstincts.com, and she also has this amazing Amazon affiliates ebook that she wrote. I help her sell it, and it's how she like makes bank with the Amazon program. But anyway, she went to the conference. Not a lot of people went, right? There was only like a couple hundred.
No, yeah, like 200 people. I think they said 250, but some people didn't show up, so like 200.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the conference, and then we'll go into the tips on what you learned.
Well, it was pretty cool because, you do all these things on social media and you hear all these things in the groups, but you never get any information from the source. So that was the coolest part, that we got to meet, we got to hear the founders of Pinterest speak. There were a ton of Pinterest employees, and we could just, they were encouraging us to ask questions. They were encouraging us to, tell them what we're liking, what we're not liking. And then they had a whole day plan for us, which I wanted to pull out my little booklet here they gave us, because so there were a lot of us. They gave us some goodies. They even gave us a bag. It was called
that's
In the
beautiful.
Making. So they had a ton of stations, all Pinterest inspired. So you could make candles and perfumes, and you could get pictures. It was really fun. I mean, it was like seeing Pinterest in real life.
Oh my gosh, that's fun. That sounds awesome.
So they gave us this little booklet at the beginning, and we had to choose between the sessions. So they were about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There were about 8 sessions in the morning and 8 in the afternoon, and most of them repeated. So you kind of got to just do 4, and some of them were just DIY stuff, which I didn't go to, like making candles, making perfumes, and some of them were Q&A with bloggers that have big Pinterest accounts, which I didn't go to because I wanted to hear what Pinterest had to say.
Right, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, you can always go interview the bloggers later.
Yeah. And so I wanted to say this because there might be other bloggers that have other information besides what I'm going to share here today. So, listen to everybody that's talking about the conference and then put all the tips together.
Exactly. I might have more people on talking about the conference. This is pretty cool.
Oh, that would be pretty awesome. I'm going to join those lives.
And we all learn everything that you guys learned. That you're so generous for coming on. Seriously, when we started chatting last night, I'm like, okay, I know you're busy. I know you have 2 kids, and you have to book your husband to come home to watch the kids. But I'm like, okay, tomorrow, please, can we do it tomorrow?
Well, I feel like, I've gotten to where I am because so many bloggers have been generous with me. So it's, my turn to pay back.
Oh, awesome. All right. So there are about 200 people at the conference. Where was it?
So it was in California and San Francisco. The conference itself was in I should probably remember the name. It was the California Institute of Arts or something like that. It was a really cool building. There was really cool setups. And then the following day, we took a tour of Pinterest, and that was more they were showing us, where it all started and how they would celebrate each milestone. And they even have a pumping room for mothers. It was so cool with medical pumps and lock, only the moms can access it. So It was pretty cool. But the learning, it'll happen in one day. We were there from like 8 8 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.
Okay, that's a long day.
It is, but it was worth it. So, should we get to it?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's go into it.
All right.
Sure.
So I think seeing like the founder stock and the people behind Pinterest, their like passion and what they're committed about is that Pinterest is a platform where people go for inspiration and they go find ideas of things they don't know exist.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So sometimes, let's say they were showing in one of the sessions, they show us a chart of like how they figured out how moms pick clothes. So like they'll go on Pinterest and they're like, oh, I want a denim jacket, and they'll start searching and there'll be like a ton of search on a denim jacket, but then they'll run into something else during the search, and then they'll start looking into that. So they showed us they look almost like a worm, right? And so then they narrow down their search to that, but then they run into something else, and then they narrow it back down, and then they make a purchase. So it's a lot of search driven, but a lot of their suggestions also help. So they want Pinterest to be a place where people come and find ideas to be better, to improve their house. They're also they also mention many times that Pinterest is more of a personal and private platform. So it's all about you, the user, and not so much like, Facebook, people tell you like you need to share content that everybody wants to share if you want a Facebook post to go viral. But that's not what happens in Pinterest. It doesn't matter if you're talking about a personal topic or something that, like, I don't know, maybe I'm reading about getting pregnant and I don't want anybody to know that I'm trying to get pregnant. Right. I can pin it onto a secret board. Nobody will know I'm reading about it. Yeah. So they're really, they really made it about, we need to realize that this is about being personal with your readers. Right. And it's a platform where they can find that. So there is a big push. And I think what I really love about Pinterest, they're really wanting to work with us bloggers, which they call us creators. Good. So I like that. They don't use bloggers or influencers.
Yeah, we're giving them their content.
Yeah, well, I feel I was talking with somebody else at the conference. I was like, it's like a relationship, right? They need us and we need them, so it all works out in the end. And so they're pushing. They're really pushing for our fresh new content. They really want us to be producing new content constantly, and I'll go into the details soon. But by constantly doesn't mean you have to write a blog post every day. Content is a pin, so it can be another pin for the same post. You can make maybe a roundup of your post. You can even maybe, if you're into fashion, you can just upload an outfit with your affiliate link. So all of that is content creation for them. I feel like as a blogger, sometimes I think like, do I have to post 7 days a week? But I know that's not what they meant.
So are we allowed to have affiliate links directly on Pinterest, or does it have to go to a blog post first?
So I got 2 different answers. One person said no and one person said yes. So this is what I'm personally going to do. I am going to keep sending them to my blog posts, but they do have an affiliate program that's authorized by them. So I'll get into that a little bit later. Okay. But I do wanted to say several things that I learned at this conference. Pinterest does not like any software or anything that handles Pinterest that is not approved by them. So if you're using a scheduler that's not approved by them, you should stop right now. I think the only ones are like Tailwind, Buffer, and there was another one. And we'll share the link later. There's like, they have a link. All this information is public. You can just go there and search who's approved. Yeah. And I think there's been a lot of talk about Board Booster because they did talk about Board Booster. They're not happy. And something.
It's good to know. I know it might sting for some of us, but it's good to know like what comes from Pinterest directly.
Yeah, and they did say they're going to, start not shutting down accounts, but they're going to start going a little bit harder after that, because apparently the way Board Booster works, it imitates like spam behavior. It logs in from like different parts of the world and whatnot. I think it's really hard for them to distinguish if you're using Board Booster or if you're a spammer.
Okay, so are they seeing pins from Board Booster as spam?
Yes. And so they're saying a lot of the bloggers that have been getting shut down is because of that. And I don't know. I mean, I feel kind of bad for Board Booster, and they said they had other reasons that they weren't going to talk about. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll figure it out. But in the meantime, I would stop using it and just use a scheduler that's been approved by them.
Okay.
Then they also, and we're going to share this link, they want communication with bloggers. They want to let us know what they're doing, and they want to let us know what's happening. I feel like they finally realized that we're important too. So we'll share a link. They have a new website, a new like section on their website that's all for creators. And
Awesome.
that's where they're going to be updating with everything that's going to happen. They're going to put information on how to like be a good creator on Pinterest, and they're going to let us know of any new changes.
That is so awesome.
They also said to check your emails, because they are going to start emailing once a week creators with all the changes they're going to make.
Okay. And you said that in like my settings I can go.
Yeah. So if you go to your Pinterest account, like in the settings section, right at the top, you'll see that there is a part about emails, and there's like 50 boxes you can check. Yeah. So I just turned off all the notification for the group boards and left everything else on, because I don't, I mean, like when I started blogging, for the first 2 years of my blogging career, I had no traffic. It was like my mom visited my blog many times, a few friends, a few people, but I was under 10,000 pages probably for like the first 2 years, and I never used Pinterest. I mean, I had an account, but I didn't even know what to do with it. And I started using Pinterest, and I went from like 10,000 pages to 100,000 page views in like 2 months. Because I also had already a lot of content, right? So it was easy. I made pins for all this content, and then my traffic has been growing ever since. So I mean, Pinterest it's an important platform, and it's great that they want to share with us what are their plans. So sign up to that, to their emails, because I learned something else. Pinterest tests a lot. So a few months ago there was a rumor that So a few months ago there was that rumor about the first 5 pins that really matter, and I heard this from a Pinterest employee at the Thrive conference, and so they were saying that's not true. So during the breakfast we got to speak with one of like the actual like programmers, like this like really geeky nice guy, and he was like, well, that was true. But then what happened is that we started noticing that people were not pinning their best 5 pins at first. And so we shut it down, because then we were prioritizing bad content sometimes.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because not everybody probably got that notice, and not everybody's following it. So they're like, okay. So that's no longer a priority, the first 5 pins.
It's no longer a priority, and it also goes to show you this. I heard this from a Pinterest employee 2 months ago. So it changed in 2 months. So I feel like take everything what I'm saying with a grain of salt and sign up to those emails.
Right, because what we're learning right now is going to work for like the next week or next month or so, like
probably a little bit more. And they did say what they're going. We're going to get into what's coming up soon, right? So I feel like it might work longer, but also some of the departments don't speak to each other. It seems like so. The people that do promoted pins, they just do promoted pins, so they can't answer your questions and other stuff, right? So depending on who you ask something, you might get a different answer.
Okay.
So,
no, I'm like, we're talking about like what's hot right now, what's going to work for the next couple months, hopefully the next year, so that we can adjust. But like the things that you said in the beginning is like create good content, because we're creators. We want to push things to Pinterest, and obviously they want new pins, things that look better, things that grab people's attention. So, I like the tips that you're sharing. Oh, one thing that I heard somebody else talking about at the conference, they said that when you mentioned that Pinterest is not that social, so it's not like it's more personal. It's more like when I think of Pinterest, it's like my dream boards. It's not just what I want to share with other people. It's like my dreams to one day become a mom, or my dreams to one day have this beautiful house. So is that a good way to think about Pinterest?
Yes and no. Okay. So here, yes, exactly the way to think about Pinterest. Like stuff that's useful for people. But in one of the sessions, they started telling us that they're coming out with communities, and it is in beta testing right now. So it sounds like it's kind of like a Facebook group. They're just trying it out. So they were asking us what do we want to see in these communities. Right now, it really looks kind of like a Facebook group, in the sense that you have like an image at the top, and then people can post links and comment. But that's it.
Okay.
Like there's not much else you can do. You can, I don't think you can join the communities right now. It's all being tested. But
Yeah.
they're going to, this is one of their projects that's going to come out live this year, communities. So,
Okay.
you know, stay tuned, watch it. I was like, yeah, I need a community for natural moms. So can we just do this right now?
Yeah. You're like, I'm here.
And I think it's great because so much content is already found on Pinterest, right? So like,
Right.
well, why don't you just keep the community there? So that was interesting because Pinterest, I feel like they have never been so much about the communities and engagement, but they're moving a little bit towards that without losing inside that they're a visual search engine. So that's always going to be the primary thing, but they're exploring new things with this community. They also said that comments have their weight. You know, like if somebody leaves a comment on your pin, that you should engage. So then I was
Okay.
like, but I've never gotten a notification when I get a comment. You just like randomly run into them. And they're like, yeah, we have not set up that yet. So they're working on it. We will probably see something come out of this, but if you start scrolling on Pinterest and you see your pin, check if it has comments, and if it does, reply.
Okay, that's good to know. Because I mean, it's showing Pinterest that pin is popular.
Yeah.
So
and I have
makes
noticed like I have a pin that has gotten my pin like 200,000 times, and it's a recipe. I have a ton of pictures in the comments. Like people took a picture of the dish, and they're like, "This is how mine came out," and they all look different. It's so cool.
that is cool. That's kind of like creates a community. Like here's the recipe, and here's what I like that.
Yeah.
Or like a fashion.
I feel like it's
or like,
you know, people helping people out, right? You know, kind of like. Yeah, I mean, we've all been to food blogs, right? You'll see in the comment like, "Oh, I tweaked the recipe and I did this different," or you know, "I didn't use sugar and I used honey," or whatever, right? So it's kind of the same thing, but on Pinterest.
Okay, I love it.
So let me see what else. Okay, so what's available now, and they're pushing it. I have the subtitle. Videos. Videos are going to be important on Pinterest. I feel like everything is going.
How do you?
Videos.
Can we already upload videos?
We
to
can upload
Pinterest?
up to a 30-minute video. I can't imagine somebody watching a 30-minute video on Pinterest, but I uploaded one yesterday to test it out. We'll see. You can upload it only on desktop.
Okay, and then isn't it gonna? What size is the video gonna be?
So they didn't say anything about that. I started scrolling because I wanted to know. I've noticed they have like the regular rectangular videos and their square videos, and I saw promoted videos that were like a pen size, so probably like shot with a smartphone, right? So
Yeah.
So I think right now they're not that big, but that's something that they're pushing right now. So if you have videos that you're sharing already on the platforms, share on Pinterest. And the same thing, right? You upload a video and then you add a description with keywords, and you can link it to a blog post, and then you pin it to a board. It works exactly like a pin. You can pin it.
Yeah, like probably those food videos are going to do really well.
That's what I think, like tutorial stuff, right? Because I don't think people go to Pinterest to hear somebody talking for 30 minutes. But maybe a tutorial. That's what I'm going to test out and upload like tutorials and see what happens.
Yeah, like very visual, stimulating videos. Okay, cool. I like that.
And they had. Oh, let me show you this. So this was our badge, and so they put this here, and I was like, let me see. I was like, oh, they put my picture there, so cool. But it is actually they're calling this pin codes. You see how there's like little dots around them?
Yeah.
Okay, so we all have this pin codes linked to our profile in each of our boards. And if you tell your followers like, hey, follow me on Pinterest, and they scan this pin code with their phone, well, like they open Pinterest and then they use the camera feature, it will pop up my profile. Or if I share a pin code for my specific board, it'll show them that specific board. So I don't know if you have maybe food recipes or crafts, and then you have a craft board. You can say like, follow my board by scanning this image with your camera. But this works like this, and I wish I could show you, but I have my phone. I'm using my phone for this live.
Yeah.
You can also, if you go to the Pinterest app, they have like a little camera icon. You can take a picture of anything in your house, and it will show you related pins. So I took a picture of my shoes, and they were like boots, and I got a ton of boots. if they have the exact match, they'll show you the exact match, and if not, they'll show you similar stuff. Then I took a picture of my ring. It showed me a ton of like engagement rings. I took a picture of my nails because I had my nails done, and it showed me a bunch of like nail designs. I was like, this is crazy. And they're
Or like,
really
if you have an outfit you really like you're standing in front of the mirror, like, I really like this outfit, and then you take a picture of yourself and you get more. I like that.
and they really want us to use that feature and share it, and also the pin codes. So I think this is pretty new because I have never heard about it until the conference.
Yeah.
Okay, then another number that I thought was interesting. You know how we all have this like number in our profile now? Like mine says like 3 point something million viewers.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are unique viewers, which means if one person saw 3 pins, it just counts as one. So it's like your unique page views on Google's. Get it, right?
Okay.
So it means your content is probably being seen by even more people than what that number says, but they're just counting each person. Does that make sense?
Okay. It might be viewed more times, but by 3 million people, right?
Yeah, no, so for example, I mean, I'm giving you the example, mine says like 3 million on it. So they're saying these are 3 million unique views. So if one person saw 3 pins, they're just counting one view.
Right.
For that,
okay.
For
so
that
3 million
number there.
Saw your stuff. That's awesome.
So you can kind of compare that to like the Google unique views. You know, when like a brand asks you like, what are your I think it's the users or unique view. It's the same thing. So you can probably, you know, I would say probably you're getting probably twice as much of the views that it says there, because I feel like people see always more than one pin from you.
Right. Definitely. Yeah, and that's something that you can go to brands with. Like, I have 3 million views on Pinterest. Like, look how popular I am.
Unique views.
Unique views. Yeah. Booyah.
I know. Doesn't that sound good? When I saw the number, I was like, wow, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it updates. Because I've seen mine, like, go a little lower, and I'm like, oh, no. And then I go pin new stuff, and I'm like, oh, it goes up a little bit. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I haven't been that good with Pinterest this year, and I was like, no, why is this going lower? So I started pinning again.
It's a good little goal to chase.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, you know, I have a lot of blogging friends, and I was like, you know, why isn't she getting more traffic than I am? She has so many more followers. I only have like 8,000 something followers on my Pinterest, but I get anywhere between like 100 something to like 200 something pages a month from there. So, and that is because the follower number doesn't matter on Pinterest, and so we can get a little bit more into that. So here is how followers matter. Followers matter because if they see your content and they like it, Pinterest will know your content is good, and they will push it out even more. But if your followers don't engage with your content, then Pinterest thinks maybe this content is not that good, and they don't push it as much. So it doesn't matter if you have 1 follower or 100,000. You want them to be liking your stuff.
Okay.
Which also means, you know, like, I don't know about you guys, but about 2 years ago, I used to be in those Facebook groups where you kind of pinned each other's content. I would not do that right. I stopped doing it a long time ago. But if I were a new blogger starting right now, I would not do that, because if you're pinning somebody else's stuff that it doesn't go with your audience or what you're blogging about, then they're just gonna be like, what is this? Why is she pinning this? And they'll keep scrolling, and that's just gonna affect your account.
Right.
So followers don't matter, but the followers that you have do matter in the sense that they have to like your content for it to get pushed more.
Okay, so you don't want like spam followers.
I don't want what?
Like just spammy people to follow you.
Yeah. Or like, you know, don't go into a Facebook group and tell every blogger to follow you. Like, I know I've seen those threads where like people follow each other.
Yeah.
It's just gonna hurt you. It really doesn't matter how many people you have in your Pinterest account. What matters is that the people that are following you want to see your stuff. So don't ask people to follow you. Just let it happen organically. I saw somebody was asking about the pin codes. I'm pretty sure we'll share the link for the creators thing after this video is done. But I was trying to see if I can pull it up here on my computer.
The link?
The pin codes, but I think I don't know if you can do it on the computer. I think you can only do it on your phone.
To get the pin code thing.
Yeah, I can share screenshots after the live.
Okay. Yeah, you can add into the common thread, and we'll just chat here.
And let's see. Okay, so all right. So we said that about the followers. So you're like, okay, I have very little followers. How do I get any traffic? Well, it's search. Search is important in Pinterest, and we've all known this. But I stayed up last night until 3 a.m. changing every single one of my board descriptions. Because I did them like 2 years ago, and I was like, search is so important right now. I feel like it's never been this important. So you need to really check that your profile description is using the keywords that your blog is about, that your boards are keyword rich, that if you're using sections, that they make sense. Don't section something like stuff I love. You know what I mean? If you're doing I don't know, summer outfits, you can do a section summer outfits 2018. So or summer flowery outfits. I don't know. I don't do fashion clearly, but I mean like if you can use the sections, make sure you're using keywords on the name of the sections too, because then Pinterest can serve your pins. When somebody's searching something, they're gonna have like, okay, she's doing fashion. Okay, this is the pin I need to serve. You know what I mean? Like it goes through everything. And so one thing,
should we do sections or not?
What?
Should we do sections on our boards, on our
so I mean, yes, I mean, from now on, like, don't freak out if you don't have a section. Like, it's not going to hurt you. But if you have a board that's pretty active where sections would make a lot of sense, then use the sections. I have made them on a few of my boards because it just makes more sense. And I have left some as is because it makes no sense. So but it is not something that you have to, like, I'm going to drop everything and make sections on every single one of my boards. If you drop everything, then work on making sure your descriptions make sense. Right?
Okay.
So whatever it is you're using, you just have to make sure you use those keywords, and don't keyword stuff it. Right? Like, write a sentence with your keywords.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody coming, like a follower, and being like, why is there like recipes chicken less than 5 minutes? Like, none of this makes sense. But you could say that in a sentence, right?
Right. Yeah. You can make it sound more
less than 5 minutes. I mean, it sounds a lot better than just the keywords.
Chicken recipe, 5 minutes.
Fast, quick, must make. I don't know. I mean, so you use the descriptions wisely, but don't sound like a robot.
I like it.
So speaking of descriptions, so they talked a little bit about group boards, and they seem okay. So how they feel is that when they started group boards, it was for people to collaborate on a project. So, let's say you're getting married and your bridesmaids are helping you plan your wedding. So you have a group board and you're all helping each other out. So
yeah,
this doesn't mean group boards are dead, but I think it means that. So here's what happened. Let me check back. They said that, let's say you and I have a board, right? And you write about blogging and I write about parenting and green living, and we have a group board. That means every single one of your followers is going to see parenting and green living stuff, and they probably don't care.
Right.
So they say, like, this was happening a lot with the group boards where people were seeing stuff like that they didn't want to be seeing, and so that's where they're going to not be as important. But I feel like they still have their value. But now you have to be careful. I would say, like, pay attention which group boards you join. Like, make sure the group boards you're joining are about what your blog is about. They're pinning stuff that your followers like. Because if you do that, then it makes sense to have a group board, right? If I partner with other moms that are talking about positive parenting or that are making DIY products, and we share a board like that, every single thing we pin there is going to work for both of our followers.
That makes sense.
Right? But there's a lot of very generic boards, like everything about moms or stuff like that, where there's a lot of random stuff, and so that might not work.
Or bloggers, or like just best blog posts, like super generic stuff that might not work that well.
So what I also did is I had on my group boards, like my board rules, and I said, like, only 5 pins a day. If you want to join, like, go here, why not? So I removed all those descriptions to not make it look like a group board, because really, I mean, that's not useful for the user. So whoever I kicked out people that I saw were like spamming the board, and I kept everybody that was posting good content. And I guess if somebody wants to join, then we'll just talk via email, and I'll be like, okay, these are the rules, and let's make this group board good, because we're all going to be benefited by this. If somebody's spamming or if somebody is posting things that has nothing to do with the board, your board is gonna get hurt. Your viewers are gonna get hurt, but so are theirs, right? So it's good for all of us to remove those like group board rules, add the description, and make it a true like collaboration.
Okay, that makes total sense, because group boards, their descriptions are very kind of robotic. Like, I'm not accepting any new contributors. Yeah. That's a lot of like, group boards. That's it. I don't accept anybody else.
Yeah, so I mean, I removed even any mention of it being a group board, but I'm like, well, it's obvious, right? There's more than just me. So if a blogger wants to join, they will probably figure out that they have to email me.
Exactly. And like, yeah, if they really want to join, then they'll find a way to contact you, and that's pretty easy.
And I mean, I've had people stalk me on all social media to like join my group board. Like I've gotten a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram from the same person. I'm like, wow. Oh. So if you really want to find it, you can stalk a blogger and they'll add you to the board.
There you go. That's a good tip.
So let's see. Okay, the pins. Let's talk about the pins, because there was so much talk about pin size, whatnot. Okay, so I am disappointed to inform that 600 by 900 is their preferred pin size.
Okay, that makes sense.
I personally like the longer pin, so I was asking about it, and they said the maximum you can go is 600 by 1200.
Okay.
But, so here is what they explained to me that was the difference. He said, let's say somebody's searching chicken recipes, and there is a pin that's 600 by 900 and a pin that's 600 by 1200. The 600 by 1200 pin is using 30% more space on your screen, right? So they say that for them to show the longer pin at first in the results, it has to be engaging 30% more than the smaller pin.
Okay.
So, kind of like, you have to earn that real estate space.
Yeah, that makes sense. You have to earn,
So if it's not, then they're just going to show the smaller one first. And then, I mean, yours will probably still be in the results. But after I heard that, I'm like, well, 600 by 900 from now on.
Then shouldn't we just create a 600 by 900 and a 600 by 1200 pin? Create both?
Well, they didn't say that, but that's my plan. Because I do tutorials, and I like the longer pins, so I can kind of show a little bit of the process. So I'm going to test out both sides and see what happens. I have never done a 600 by 900 pin.
Oh, I do them all the time.
I have never done
most of my pins by 900. Because what it is, it's a normal image, a picture, because I take my own stock images, so it's a normal stock image that I take, and then I just turn it vertically, and that's the size. So it's a picture size, and I think that's why Pinterest likes it, because it's natural. Yeah. When people take pictures of fashion and food and so on, that's a picture size.
Yeah, well, so, I'm personally excited about this, because I'm like, well, if I'm getting traffic and I don't have a single pin that's 600 by 900, this is probably going to help. And they also said squares do well. They're like, there's so many, they've heard rumors that you can only pin, and they're like, no, squares do well too.
They want to get some of Instagram's action, that's why.
Well, and I figure, like, I don't know about your blog setup, but my blog setup uses a feature image, which is a square, so I'm like, well, I'm just going to pin both, right? Yeah. And then if I'm pinning both, like, it's like double content I'm creating.
Awesome.
So let's see. Okay, so then they said that whole 20% text rule is only for Facebook. They love text.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I know. I've never. Where did that come from?
Add text. They said they put it like in a little thing like pro tip: the more straightforward and helpful the copy, the better. So they say like add text that will get people to click through. That tells them what this pin is about. Don't just be like this mysterious thing you should be doing every night. Like people are probably not going to like click through, versus if you share something a little bit more direct. Like people want to know what they're going to get, kind of a thing. They also said like use your branding.
How to click naturally, right?
Yeah. So use your branding, use your logo. If you're a brand, which I don't know if any of those sell products, they give the example of like Mayor's ice cream, was it? I can find it later. So they have their ice cream things in every single pin, but it's never the main focus of the pin. It's like in the background. But they're saying like, if you see this pin, you know exactly the brand.
Mayor's ice cream. Okay.
Okay, I have to look it up because it's on my phone. I took a picture. But they also showed some from Banana Republic. It was just like a giant purse, and it just said in tiny letters on the side Banana Republic. So the branding is there, but they're not making the branding like, hey, look at me, this is the brand. So use your branding, but don't be like, use your branding, but use it elegantly.
Okay, so why? Why does Pinterest want us to really brand our stuff?
Well, because I think you're trying to stand out in a sea of many pins that look alike, right?
Okay.
So they want your followers to recognize your stuff when they see it, and branding helps. Okay. But they also said never put your logo in the bottom right.
Why not?
Because I don't know if you've seen, when you're looking at a pin, there's like this little thing that pops up that you can expand to like take a picture of the pin, and then it shows related pins.
Yeah.
If your logo is at the bottom right, that thing's gonna block it, so people won't be able to see it. And so you can the promoted pins, they go through like this department that helps them figure out like what is a great pin. So I feel like now when I'm scrolling, I'm gonna start paying more attention to the promoted pins.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because that's okay. That makes sense.
So let's see what else. Okay. Yeah. So they were saying like, just try to like do whatever you can to make your pin stand out. And so they showed us like, several examples, like a really busy pin that like you don't even know where to look at. That doesn't work. A pin that is just a giant brand and you don't know like what's really the pin about. That doesn't work. But something where they showed us like a Marshall's pin, like the store Marshalls. With I think it was like summer essentials. So it was like just Marshalls and around like a picture of the 10 summer essentials, and they're like, this pin is doing great because people know what they're gonna get when they click on that link. And it's very visual, and it was pretty. It wasn't busy. There was a lot of spacing between the products. So that's just more like a brand pin, but that's kind of what they're saying that's doing well.
Okay, good. I'm gonna go stalk Marshalls and Mayor's ice cream and see what their accounts look like.
I'll make sure I'll share the links of whatever they recommended. Okay, so going to the creator part and creating new content. So a creator for them is somebody that creates new pins or uploads new pins at least once a week.
Okay.
They're going to start favoriting creators, right? They want creators, and they want us to create content, and they want us to be amazing. So
now people are ask, like, is it a new blog post or just a new pin image for an old
so this is what I was going to explain. It is a new pin image. Okay. So they say you can make another pin for the same blog post. They have no problem that you have several pins going to the same blog post. It's A/B testing. They do it all the time, right? Okay, you can do a twist to your post. So they say like, Pinterest is a lot about seasonal stuff too, right? So maybe you wrote a post on wooden toys for babies, but you can edit the post and make it the top wooden toys for babies for 2018, right? And make a new pin. So you're still using the same post because the information is relevant, but you're giving it a twist and you're making it relevant to the person that's going to see that pin. They're going to want to click through because they think it's current content.
Right. People like new stuff.
Yeah. So whatever you have old, like, just leave it as is. Like, don't even worry. And this also doesn't mean that you need to go back and make 50,000 pins and upload them at once. Like, be smart about this. Like, come up with a schedule. And if you say, I'm going to make 3 pins a week, just stick to 3 pins a week and start doing that. I personally am going to do 1 pin per day for the next 30 days as an experiment. Okay. So I post like 2-3 new posts a week, so I already have 3 pins there, and then the other 4 are gonna come from my old posts that I'm going to edit and add a new pin to them. But also keep in mind, like, if you're adding the square image and if you're adding the pin image, that's 2 things, right? So don't upload them both on the same day. Upload one today and another one tomorrow, and that way you can be feeding Pinterest new content every day in an easier way. That makes sense? I see you like thinking.
Yeah. Yes, I'm thinking like how many pins am I allowed to pin per day?
So they don't have any limit, and before they used to have like a lifetime limit of 200,000 pins, and they have removed that. So there's no limit for creators. If you're a regular user, that's different, but if you're a business account, there's no limit. So they want you to use the platform, and they want you to kind of be a normal person there. So they say like, okay, if you pin 10 things 1 minute after another, that's just weird. You're kind of spamming your followers, right? So spread them out.
Right.
So I personally use Tailwind to schedule other people's content, and I do about 12 pins a day, and I manually repin my stuff every day and night.
Okay.
And I mean
Okay.
that's what I was doing about 2 years ago, and that's what got my account to grow. And I have to be honest, I haven't been doing it this year. I started again about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But then I had like something go viral, so I'm like, I'm never stopping this again. Because like it works, right? It works, and so you're feeding Pinterest constantly with like other people content, and they also said you don't have to share a lot of content from other people. It's not like, I feel like Facebook really likes content from other people. When you share something from you, it's like, hey, pay me money. Pinterest is really giving us this platform for us to shine as creators. So they love your content and they want to see your content. So you can do like a 50-50 mix. They didn't say. So you can do whatever you want. But just know that you don't have, like, the majority of whatever you pin per day doesn't have to be someone else's. It should be yours. And I feel like more than ever, whatever you're pinning from other people should fit your niche.
Right. Otherwise, you're not doing the right things to your followers. Okay. So how many, if you do manually pinning, like your own stuff, how many of your own pins do you pin per day?
I do about 5.
Wow. Okay. 5. Are these to group boards or to your own boards? 5 per day.
I usually, so my process, and like, take this with a grain of salt, right? But my process is I'll publish a post, and at some point during the day I'll remember I publish it and I upload the pin to Pinterest. So now it's living in my Best of Mama Instincts group board, or on my own board. And I also have another board called like All of Mama Instincts blog posts, because that's where I put different types of pin. I want one board to have like just one pin for each, and the other one can have everything else. So once it's in one of those 2 boards, then I will either repin it to one of my boards that fits whatever the pin is, and I will repin it to group boards. But I never repin the same pin on the same day. Does that make sense? So if I uploaded that pin and I repin it to my DIY recipes board, I won't repin it to a group board today. I'll do it tomorrow or another time this week. And I don't keep like track of this. Like, you don't need to complicate it. I just go on my phone, and I mean, you kind of remember what you pinned yesterday. And sometimes, if I'm like, oh, I feel like I've been too much to the top of this board, I'll just scroll down and go to the bottom, or go in the middle. And that way I'm always repinning different stuff. I think you could use Tailwind for that too. I just like to kind of like be in there, see what's going on.
Yeah, it is. It helps a lot because you're actually seeing what people are liking and what's being in the feed. So,
and you can see like related pins and everything. You might get one thing I started using a lot. I am really bad at headlines. I feel like I'm pretty bad at headlines, but now I'm going to Pinterest, especially for my tutorials, and I'll search my headline before I even post it, right? Just to see what's coming up. Because I don't know if you've seen, but when you look at topic on Pinterest, you'll get like little keywords at the bottom.
Those are so helpful.
They're helpful, and they say they go in order of how much they're used. So the first ones are the most search ones, and the last ones are the ones that people are searching less. So you can get their keywords that should be on your pin description, that should be, you could use as a title, that should be on your pin. And that it just takes like 2 minutes. I mean, I feel like the whole blog post process takes a long time because everything takes like 2 minutes, but
blogging is easy. It's like consistently everything takes a little bit of time.
I know. I remember when I started, I'm like, I'm just gonna write stuff and post it, and then I'm like, why? It's taking me 4 hours to do one post.
Why is this pin image taking me an hour to make? Yeah, I completely get it. Yeah, and I know you have the goal of creating a pin image every day, one for the next 30 days. I'm like, I want to do that, but I know it takes me about 30 minutes to like create it, then upload it, and then Well,
I also have an assistant right now, which she's pretty amazing. So she's gonna help me out with that. Bless her soul.
Good.
But I don't think you have to do it every day, but I want to test it out, right? So we can come back in 30 days and I can let you know if it helped or not.
Exactly. I'll do something like that.
It's all an experiment. Awesome. And you know what? Speaking of experiments, I was speaking to one of their software developers, and he said different things work for different people on Pinterest. right? So
Okay.
sometimes that's why I mean, the algorithm is the same, right? But maybe for somebody, like, their pins are so amazing that as soon as somebody sees them, like, they just can't help themselves and they have to click on them. Maybe somebody else's strategy is like just doing popular recipes or just doing seasonal content or just doing their trends. You can see what's trending on Pinterest and ride that wave. So he said, like, there's different ways to be successful on Pinterest, and that's why you'll probably hear different advice from bloggers. And one thing that I've done in my blogging career is be true to yourself and test things out and then see what works for you and what doesn't, because the same advice doesn't work for everybody. That's
Right.
the sad reality. And it's hard because sometimes you're like, can somebody tell me what to do? And I felt that so many times. But sometimes you have to try and see what works. Not everybody's audience is the same.
Exactly. Like, I've been using Tailwind nonstop for the last 2 years, and it works really well for me. Like, maybe once a week I'll manually pin something, but then for you it works really well. So it just, what can you do consistently, I think, works really in the end.
Yeah.
If you can't stick consistently, then
and
that's
so
the hard thing.
I also wanted to say something that several of us were not happy about this, and we let Pinterest know, so they might not go forward with this. But they were going to create this new thing to feature creators when people are doing searches. But here is what happens: everybody that has a lifestyle blog, like, what's your niche? There's like 5, right? So if your blog name is like chicken recipes, you're going to be featured in every like chicken recipes result. But what if you blog about parenting and also have chicken recipes? So when they said that, we were like, well, I mean, a lot of us blog about different topics, and so I'm not sure this is something they're working on in the future, where they want to feature accounts, like like a whole account on the search results. But it sounded like you really have to have a niche for this to like work in your favor.
Yeah, like super.
So, this is one of the things they're working on, and my guess is a lot of us were like, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait. I blog about multiple things.
So maybe they'll do something, but then they said, like, okay, whatever. In the meantime, just make sure then your boards do cover those topics, because then we can also feature a board, right?
You can have like a specific chicken recipe board or mom fashion board, but your entire blog has different topics.
Yeah. And let's see what else is coming. Okay, because they did say they want to highlight creators on a regular basis, which I just heard like more traffic. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. They're making all these changes right now, and they seem like they're really committed to like making this relationship where Pinterest and creators work together.
Good.
You'll be able to also like search like by entire topics, and the search are going to look different. This is like what's coming soon. They are going to.
Yeah, I saw like 3 new little like drop downs when I did the search. I'm like, oh, this is new.
Okay, so I haven't seen it yet, because they test everything before they roll it out, right? But they're changing a little bit their search bar, and they're going to change how their results are being served, and they're going to let people search by like broad topics. They also said the hashtags work for getting your content out there faster, but not necessarily for search. So you're kind of like. So, for example, if somebody uses the hashtag, it'll be a lot faster for them to find what they're looking for.
Yeah.
But Pinterest is still using a lot more of the keywords in your description to, like, serve search results. So when they're serving search results, they go off by the description, and the hashtags are being used when a person actually puts a hashtag in the search bar.
Yeah, how many people do that, actually?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you can now click on the hashtags too, right? So maybe you'll see a pin and you're like, what happens if I click on the
Yeah, they're clickable.
So, there's, they said to use broad hashtags. I've been testing, like, I had a few broad and a few more narrow, and somebody said you could use about 20 hashtags. I can't think of 20 hashtags to use in my post, so they just said, like, if you're using 20 hashtags, make sure, like, it's not spammy, right? You don't want to. You want to make sure the hashtags you're using make sense for your pin.
Okay.
Right? So They
Like
see, like they
like
see if you hashtag something like, I don't know, parenting hack, and it has nothing to do with that,
yeah.
like they're gonna be like, this pin is not getting click-throughs, it's not getting engagement, there's something wrong with it, so you're just gonna hurt yourself. So don't use hashtags that are not relevant.
Okay. Okay. So it helps to categorize your pins a little bit better.
Yeah, and they really focus on using broader terms, and I'm experimenting with like some more specific ones to see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna have it again in 30 days and see what happens with your account. If we go up from 3 million to like 5 million.
Let's see. And what else? Okay, so they're improving the analytics a lot. I'm pretty excited about this. They said the new analytics is launching at the end of June, so I hope that's true.
Okay.
But if not, it's probably sometime this summer. It's going to look completely different, but they're giving us access to a lot of information to help us. So we're going to be able to see how our pins are doing, like for reals, how they're ranking, the click-throughs, what topics are trending, and how that compares to what pins of ours are trending. So when they were explaining the analytics, they're saying like they want us to be able to use this to create new content too. Right, so our analytics are going to be a place where we're going to see what's working well right now, so we can create more. They're all about fresh content, right?
Okay, awesome.
And they're also giving us insights on not just our account, but Pinterest itself. So we are going to be able to see like what's happening with the trends and all that. So that's pretty cool because the Pinterest goes a lot by trends. People pin Christmas stuff like
exactly
months before, so we'll be able to like see that in the analytics, so we can be like, oh, time to get everything for Christmas out. You're gonna like the analytics.
And our small group said that her Halloween stuff is being pinned right now.
I know, who's thinking about Halloween now?
Yeah.
But Pinterest people are planners, right? or I feel like they're hopeful planners. Like I will pin stuff like way before I have to, but then I'll never go back to it.
That's a good way to label them. They're planners or people that like have big projects coming up.
The way I see Pinterest is if I go to a big store like a Target and I see like the Halloween stuff is out, you bet I'm getting back home and writing something about Halloween. Because if it's out in the store, it's starting to be on people's minds, and then you can pin it. And you can always, if you don't want on your homepage to have a Halloween post right now, you can always backdate it to last year's Halloween date, but get the pin out now.
Yeah.
Or backdate it a few months so it's like not on your homepage, but or a few days, depending on how much you post. But then you can still get that out, in time, because and they didn't say it this time, but they said that at the Afterlife conference, like people start pinning holidays and big events about 45 days before, like a lot, and then the month before it spikes. And so they say that you need that traction from like the days before for you to be able to see that spike towards like the week before the holiday.
Okay, so we're 45 days. Okay, so like 4th of July stuff, you're pretty much already late on it.
Yeah, but I don't think it's bad because I personally, like, sometimes I have posted Christmas stuff in December, which is technically too late, but all of a sudden it might go viral, or it'll be good for next Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? So, blogging is a long-term game.
It is. It's a long-term game. So maybe now we can start like thinking back to school. I know summer just started, but probably like back to school stuff might be like good content to start creating.
Yeah, back to school for sure, and like fall content if you do anything like seasonal. It's crazy because you're kind of like living in the future.
I know. Like I just want to enjoy the summer, and now I'm like talking about Thanksgiving.
I know.
That makes sense.
Let's see what else. Okay. Okay. I didn't know this, and I don't know if anybody else. But did you guys know Pinterest has something called Pinterest Tag, which is like the Facebook Pixel? So it's called Pinterest Tag, so you can look it up, and it will like.
Okay.
You can. So I guess this works better if you want to make promoted pins. But you would be able to target the people that have visited a certain page of your blog, or you'll be able to like get more info on the analytics of the people that are clicking through your pins. So I have not installed it, but I feel like I want to give it a try. So it's called Pinterest Tag.
I've done promoted pins once or twice, and I had success the first time, and it did really well. And then all of a sudden, like it didn't do well anymore, so I stopped. But that's probably something to look into again.
So they're changing it. And they said, you know what, I wasn't going to get into promoted pins a lot, but let me check here right now, because they did say, all right, give me 2 seconds. Okay, promoted pins. Okay, don't use hashtags on promoted pins.
Okay.
And
Do you know why?
I don't know, the promoted guys said no, like hashtags don't work in promoted pins. So here, if you do promoted pins, a CTR above 0.5% is considered good, and above 1.5% is considered really good.
Okay, and that's click-through rate.
So yeah, and so if you get your CTR, yeah, under 0.5%, then you can now know for sure that pin sucked, basically. But the cool thing, so I want to try promoted pins because I didn't want to, but he said, the cool thing is, like, if you promote a pin, like, it starts getting repinned by people, so then it falls into the organic traffic stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it starts maybe promoted, but then the rest of its life is organic. So
exactly, you're just helping, giving it a little boost. Maybe that's really like seasonal stuff that's brand new that you're trying to get out there. It could be a good technique.
I've heard from somebody that if you're willing to spend $1,000 a month on Pinterest promoted pins, that you'll get your own promoted pin person.
Ooh.
So I don't know. I mean,
it's only $1,000. That's it.
Yeah, you don't have to pay them. Like, you have to spend that in ads. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the last so maybe you can test it out. I don't want to spend $1,000 on Pinterest promoted pins. But I think it's worth a shot. And let's see what else. Oh, okay. So the one thing, because I think we've been going for long, but the Shop the Look. So I have heard about it, and I thought it was like this fashion thing, and like I'm wearing, like I am not a fashionable person. So I went to the session because I was like, I want to know more about this. So you just Google Shop the Look, and you can apply, and just go apply, because this is what I learned. It's just affiliate pins, right? But you set up your account, and you take a picture of, this water bottle with like a cup, and then you go into you go into the Shop the Look thing, and then you search for it. But they don't only have fashion; they have a ton of other stuff. They have 1,500 brands right now, and they're always adding brands. So, like, I even asked. I was like, "Do you have anything natural and organic?" Because, like, I'm not going to promote anything that's not like that.
Right.
And they were like, "Yes, we do." So, right now it takes about 2 weeks for your account to be approved. So I applied, and I'm gonna see what brands are there. But so the cool thing, so there's cool things about this Shop the Look thing. First of all, that you take your picture, and then you put it through like kind of their system, so it tags the items on the picture. It creates little dots on your pin. I think if you're on Pinterest, you've probably seen like pins with little dots next to the pin.
Yes, I have. Okay. Yeah.
All that is affiliate money that a blogger is going to make. And every time that thing gets repinned, you're still getting the affiliate money.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. So going back to creating a content pin every day, it doesn't have to be a post. It can be a Shop the Look pin. It's still new content. It's still relevant. Yeah. So while you're not driving traffic to your site, you are making affiliate money.
That's okay too.
So they said usually when you tag when you have multiple dots on the pin, you'll do better.
Yeah.
So which means you tag more than one product. They also said the Shop the Look pins, I don't know if you've seen, sometimes it's like a pin and they have like 3 little images at the bottom of the products on the pin. Okay, so they say to tag 3 products or more, because if you don't have 3, they're not going to show those images. Like, they're not going to put 1 image under the pin.
Oh, yeah, because then it's empty.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then the lady also said that maybe everybody will pay the Chanel bag because they want to like dream about it, right? But the reality is that most people can't afford that, and they said that they have found that under 50 is the sweet spot. So maybe you post a picture of the Chanel bag, but also tag another product. You can tag similar products to what's on your photo. Right?
Yeah.
So if we do the bottle, maybe we can do this brand and 2 more brands, and then just toggle 3 in the photo, and then let the person decide what they want to get.
That's super smart. So you're giving them the dream, but like this is the Chanel bag, but like, okay, if you really want this, here's one that's $30.
Yeah.
And that's going to be much more likely to actually have somebody purchase it.
So, fashion is pretty big on Pinterest, but I feel like this would work for many other niches too. So I signed up for the account, but I haven't been approved, so I can come back later and see what other stuff I find, because I would be interested in products for kids and the natural stuff, but everybody, I think it's still worth to apply, and just know that it's not about fashion, because that's what I thought at first. I was like, oh, this is for fashion bloggers, but it's not. I mean, there's even furniture. There were like, you could tag.
Oh yeah, that's where I saw it. I saw the first time I saw those little things that pop up on like a baby nursery, because I'm looking into like making my, if you guys know, I'm moving the baby out of our room to his own room. So I'm on Pinterest now looking at baby boy nursery stuff. And that's where it pops up. And Target has a lot of these pins too, where it's like shop the look. And then you can like directly go shop in Target.
And Shop the Look is the only approved Pinterest partner for this. So don't try to do this with anybody else.
Okay.
So somebody told me you could share affiliate links, and somebody else told me you couldn't share direct affiliate links. So I'm just gonna play it safe, and I'm just going to share Shop the Look pins.
Me too. I like that. Yeah, I'm always on the cautious side.
Yeah, that's and so then cool. The last thing is they give us this really cool book, which are the 100 trends on Pinterest. So obviously I'm not going to go through the 100 ones, but I did ask Susie what most of her followers might be interested in.
Yeah, that is
so cool. I marked everything, and I'm going to show you. It's really, I mean, I don't know if you can see. It doesn't have a lot of text, but you can kind of see the data that we gather.
It's so pretty.
But so I really like this part, and it says, Pinterest is personal. Pinners are doers. They're just killing time. Like they want to find projects and stuff to do. And Pinterest and pinners are shoppers. They like to shop a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Okay. So for home,
that makes perfect sense, because they're in the mindset of I have this project I want to do. I'm willing to spend money. It's not I'm browsing Facebook and I just want to connect with my friends.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, they're it's very search driven. It's very intent driven. It's not like I'm scrolling my feed to see what pops up. It's like I'm looking for this, right?
Yeah.
So okay. So about home, like for those of you that do home stuff, the home category continues to grow with a 75% increase in pins year over year. Pinners are thinking big and small, from full renos to stylish accents, and spend 27% more on decor than people who don't use Pinterest. So if you have anything about home decoration, that's where your content has to be.
Right. Because Pinterest like to decorate.
Yeah. So they had a small section for kids and parenting. So let's see. Okay. All right. I have so many post-it notes. So this is interesting for me. Branch out of plastic toys and go into non-toxic options, wooden toys and things like that. That has an increase of 173%. Eco-friendly stuff. It's being searched a lot, like cloth diapers, recycle things, planet-friendly things. Mom jewelry is pretty popular right now on Pinterest. That's increasing an increase in 146%.
Is it teething necklace?
Huh?
Like those teething necklaces?
Yeah, the necklace that you wear and then your kids can chew on. That's pretty popular. Baby nursery stuff. So see, you're looking for that. Especially, there's an 85% increase in baby nursery stuff that doesn't make the nurseries look very babyish.
Yeah. I want it to look modern and clean, so that when I go in there, I feel comfortable and I don't feel like I'm in a preschool. So yeah.
See? Let's see. Okay, next level. They call next level nesting. The new parents are tackling pre-baby bucket lists and perfecting the art of prepping for new arrivals. So if you write about pregnancy, Pinterest is where you're going to get your followers.
Yeah.
tiny trackers, helpful apps, and cheat sheets that track everything from baby's mini moments to big milestones. So, I mean, I feel like a lot of bloggers do printables and things like that to organize
Yeah.
your baby's info. So, that's pretty good. You know, stuff to decorate the kids' room. And that's all they had for the kids' stuff. Let's see. And this is what's like doing very well right now. Also, I thought it was interesting. I marked the wellness stuff because wellness goes beyond diet on Pinterest. Everything mind,
Okay.
body, and soul is covered. And we've got 2 billion pins to prove it. 61% of pinners say Pinterest is where they find ideas to be their best selves. So, like a lot of self-help stuff, right? They're using the Pinterest app to pull up everything from workouts to the gym to quick meditations on their commute. So, overall, then they kind of broke it down, but there's like a ridiculous increase from 72% to like 3,379% on some of these topics. So,
Wow.
yeah.
What's that one that increased that much?
The vitamin for brighter skin. It says, squeezing its way into everyone's morning routine, vitamin C serum is believed to improve skin texture and quality.
That is nuts. Do you know why? Why that's so weird?
Why?
Because I just bought. Yeah.
So I guess next time you guys need to know like what you should pin about, just ask Susie what she's doing, because she got the baby nursery and the vitamin C.
That's so embarrassing. I'm like, I just bought something 2 days ago that has that on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know they are calling wellness everything, right? Not only like sometimes I think when I think of wellness, I narrow it down too much. And they have, I mean, this thing just has a lot.
This is so much fun,
isn't it?
I'm learning so much from you. You're awesome.
And so I don't know. I mean, if anybody has anything else, because they didn't have some of like the planning and budgeting and stuff. It's not on here.
Yeah.
So let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anything because they have food, travels. I mean, this is weird. Like healthy coffees have a 218% of increase.
Yeah.
Air fryers. I mean, whoever is into air fryers, that's a 1,809% increase.
So cool. That is so awesome.
Go buy an air fryer and start blogging about it. Okay.
Yeah.
And so there's like, I mean, if anybody is in a specific category, maybe we can, you know, they're just giving ideas, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God.
And I don't think they're covering everything, but they're just kind of like letting you know where the trends are going.
That is
I wish I had many of these books. Maybe they have it somewhere online, but it's their Pinterest 100 2018 books. So maybe
I might buy it from you. How much would you sell it for, Carolina?
I want to look at it first. I was like, this is so useful.
Send me screenshots.
But I feel like this is the type of stuff we'll be able to see also with the analytics, with everything they're changing. You know, I feel like if anything that I got from there is Pinterest is not like this mysterious thing. There's actually like a ton of super nice people behind Pinterest. And they want to help us because we're feeding the content, and they want to help to feature us, and they just want amazing content and amazing pins because it's going to grow their platform, and in return it's going to grow our own blogs, right? So
exactly, that makes perfect sense. It's a relationship, like you said in the beginning.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was there and everybody was so young. I live in DC where everybody's so old. So it was interesting to like go into an office and I was like, wow, this is it. It was a really cool environment. Like we took a tour of the very first building they bought after they moved out of somebody's backyard. There was like a picture of like, anyways, and they had like they had their fan mail on the wall and it's still there. Like people that were saying, you know, how much they love Pinterest and how much it changed their lives. And when they got to 100, what was it, 100 million or 100 billion? I can't remember. 100 something users. They printed thousands of little pictures of profiles and they put them up the wall.
Wow.
And then eventually it fell down, but
probably 100 million. There's only 7 billion people in the world.
Okay, so 100 million makes sense. So they're really like they're a fun community and they're nice people and they want to help, and you know there's so many departments too. Like it's pretty, you know, like the analytics was one person, the promoter pins was one person. I mean, not one person, one team of people, but
Okay.
Right. But there is like it's not like, you know, you go to Pinterest and you talk with somebody and that somebody knows everything. Right?
Yeah.
There's
Golly, that's awesome. So you have been so amazing
well,
for
I hope it
coming
was
on.
helpful.
We like if I might ask you back next week. Like I might ask you back for a different topic, and you know what? So,
All right.
this
Well,
is
and you know,
awesome.
we should all test this out and then report, like
Yeah,
all of us, we should report back in 30 days. Like, you know.
exactly. Yeah, let's check back. Like in the beginning of July, if you guys want to implement some of these tips that Carolina has shared with us, let's report back in exactly about 4 weeks. We'll do a live again, and we'll see what you guys did.
Yeah.
And
Take a screenshot of your analytics right now because, you know.
yeah, awesome. And if you have some time, I know we didn't get to all the questions, and I kind of have to run because my kids are downstairs waiting. But I'm gonna try to go through some of the comments below. But would you mind?
Yeah,
When you
yeah.
have some time?
I'm going to Kings Dominion, so it's a 3-hour drive. So I'll have plenty of time to go through the comments. So
Okay.
I'll get, you know, we're hopping in the car after this live, and so within the next hour, I should be able to answer your comments.
You're amazing. You're awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all this. And we're eternally grateful. And again, we're going to check back in a month and see where we are.
Awesome. I can't wait. I really hope when people come back in a month, they're like, oh my God, my Pinterest traffic grew, because Pinterest is amazing. I mean,
I know.
Google takes a long time, you know, to pick up your stuff and you get traffic from there, but Pinterest is like the place where you can post something and it might go viral that same week. And I mean, I've had in the past, like one pin bring me 100,000 page views in a month. One pin. Yeah. So you never know, right? Don't ever give up.
Don't give up. Thank you so much. You guys drive safely.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.